Hello, Jen here, and I have a layout for you for the Everyday Inspiration series. So I just showed you this month's inspiration, and that is the podcast that I'm listening to. I've been showing that in a lot of my videos lately because I've just been really enjoying listening to podcasts while I scrap. And I know a lot of people ask that question to scrapbookers. I get asked a lot on Facebook groups and even in person what I do while I'm scrapbooking. And so sometimes I watch TV, and I know in my videos you guys have seen my hands reacting to something that I was watching on TV, but lately I've just really been enjoying podcasts, especially ones that are around that 30-minute mark, because I feel like that's a really good amount of time to sit and create. And when the podcast is over, I can get up, I can stretch a little, go get another drink of water or coffee, come back, take a look at what I'm doing, and keep going, or, take an even longer break. If I'm doing mixed media, that 30 minutes is kind of a good amount of time to kind of do some mixed media and then get up and stretch for a bit while it dries. So yeah, I've been really enjoying them. And the one I'm listening to right now is a Canadian one about a missing person's cold case that happened in the Ottawa Valley, which is where I'm from, it's where I grew up. So I've really been enjoying it. It's about a CBC journalist who also grew up in that area. He actually moved to Arnprior, the little town where the boy was from, in the same year that the boy went missing. So he never actually knew the boy, but he really felt the impact of what was going on because it was such big news. It's actually still Renfrew County's only cold case, if you can believe it. So that kind of stuff just doesn't happen that often there, and so it's been really interesting to follow the case and hear all the familiar accents. The Ottawa Valley has a very distinct accent within Canada, and so it's been really nice to kind of hear those familiar sounds and all the names of the places and stuff like that. And yeah, I've just really been enjoying it. And I kind of like those podcasts where each season is one story, so you get a little bit more information than just one story per podcast. I do love those too, but in this one you're really getting to dive deep into the case, and they've been exploring a lot of avenues that police dismissed or just didn't have the proper techniques or the proper information to explore it, all that kind of stuff. So it's quite interesting. I've really been enjoying it. It's called Someone Knows Something, and I'm listening to it on Spotify. I know I sound like an advertisement right now, but I just thought I would throw that out there because it's been something I've been doing lately. So for the layout, if you haven't ever seen an Everyday Inspiration video, it's a series that Christy, Crystal, Daisy, Dolly, Lisa, and myself do every month, where one of us finds something from our everyday lives, we snap a picture of it, and then the rest of us use it as inspiration for a layout. So this month is one of my pictures, and I always get so excited to see how the other ladies are going to create something inspired by one of my pictures, because you just never know what they're going to see that is that jumping off point, those little elements. Sometimes you take for granted when you look at your own picture, I kind of know what direction I might want to go in. So it's really always a ton of fun to see the direction that the other ladies have gone in. So my picture is a Ferris wheel, and this is from Calgary Stampede in 2019, when they turned Stampede into a Stranger Things carnival. So the rides and the midway, that whole section of Stampede was turned into this big Stranger Things carnival with posters, and they changed a lot of the signage, and some of the rides had like that fleshy, oozy stuff pouring out of it, and warning signs and restricted signs and all that kind of stuff. And so the Ferris wheel had pictures of all of the cast and characters all around the Ferris wheel bucket and on the bottom. So I was kind of standing underneath the Ferris wheel a little bit and took that picture. The sky was so beautiful that day, just that like really crisp beautiful blue and just a few little bits of cloud. And then, so I got that clean picture of the Ferris wheel. And I have tons of pictures from that day. I just snapped everything because we're massive Stranger Things fans, like right from day one. My daughter loves it. The boys are now old enough that they've watched it. We've watched it multiple times. We own tons of collectibles. My daughter owns almost every pop figure that is out. There's only a couple of the more expensive, exclusive ones that she hasn't been able to get her hands on, but she owns even ones that we, have tracked down from all over the place in the States, Target, and all those other places that have exclusive pop vinyl that we can't get here in Canada. She's got them all. We really like that. She's super, super obsessed. So it was an amazing day because it was just a lot of fun for the kids to go and find all the little pictures and experience that Stranger Things theme and be around other fans as well who are just really enjoying the day. So I could have scrapped the actual picture that was the inspiration photo, but I decided to go with these pictures because they're some of my favorites of Kaylin. She's so cute and they turned out really nice, just good lighting and all the, magic that needs to happen for a picture to turn out really nice and clear and crisp. And it's Kaylin found on one of the murals a little picture of Steve right at her height. It was right there. I think we might have been waiting for food or the bathroom or something. And so she just walked over and she was like, "Hey, Steve," and kind of talking to it, and everyone thought it was really funny. So I took these photos and they turned out really cute. They're very Kaylin. She doesn't always show that kind of quirky side of hers. So when she does, I really like to catch those moments. And so I thought it might be fun to kind of scrap those, knowing that the photo is had that Stranger Things theme, and also knowing that you guys might not have really seen that right away or picked up on that right away. And same with the other ladies. I kind of wanted to play with that element of it. You would have had to really look hard and notice that the pictures on the Ferris wheel buckets were Stranger Things. If not, you might just look at that picture and go, oh, okay, it's a Ferris wheel. So I kind of wanted to pull out that little inspiration piece because that's something that was a little bit more personal to me. And I did also want to have a bit of that Ferris wheel element to it as well. So even though these particular pictures don't have the Ferris wheel in them, I wanted to be able to kind of look back and remember that this was inspired by that extra picture. And of course, that picture will make its way into the album at some point too. So I went into my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit, and all these little bits of ephemera, they all came from my iris container that is just filled with a mishmash of things. So they're old collections that I only had a few elements left. They are even some things that were thrown in by other people. This is an iris container that I bring on crops and when I teach classes, and I just kind of throw it in the middle when people are creating and say, take a look, there might be something in there that you really love and that will work perfectly on your layout. Or if you have little bits and pieces left over, you don't know how to use them, throw them in there because at some point someone else might really need that piece. So it's just a big mishmash of everything. And I put it into my kit this month because that's what my whole kit is. It's just lots of leftovers, leftover bits of sticker sheets and that kind of stuff. And so I remembered that I had just a couple pieces of paper left over from a paper pad that was a carnival themed paper pad. So I went and pulled those out to throw them into my kit as well. And it's not overtly carnival in the sense that this isn't an exact image of a Ferris wheel, but it gives you the impression of the Ferris wheel. And other papers, well, you saw me as I was flipping through them, there's cotton candy and snow cones and that kind of stuff. I've used up quite a bit of it, and I only had those few bits and pieces left over. I think it was a Recollections paper pad. and it's several years old. So it might have actually been at that time when they were taking more popular collections from American Crafts and things like that and kind of reworking them and releasing their own version of it. It could be that, or it could just be that this is a collection that they came up with on their own. But I really liked the Ferris wheel circles in the background paper, so I went ahead and pulled that out, and then I put a little border of yellow around it, because in the pictures you can see where Kaylin's hand is. There's a kind of bright pop of yellow color, and so I thought yellow would be a good contrasting color, or kind of a good, bright color that attracts your eye. And then I also have a larger mat. The very last background paper is teal. I just felt like that darker color really grounded the whole thing and kind of gave it a nice border. And so once I had my layers done in the background, I just went into my little iris container and I started pulling things out. So I basically looked for anything that was in that kind of mint or teal color. The background of that Ferris wheel paper is a very light mint color, so anything that was mint or teal, anything that was pink, because you can see the pink on the darker pink of the Ferris wheels, that kind of stands out a little bit. Anything that was yellow, because that also stands out a little bit. And then anything that was either maybe 80s themed, like those viewfinders. I love those. They make really great little layers that you can add into different clusters. So anything that was 80s themed, anything that was carnival themed. Those tickets were kind of, to me, carnival themed, so I pulled a bunch of those out. I just happened to have them in the right colors. There were some kind of teal and minty ones. There was a yellow one, which I actually think came from the fair. It's not ephemera from a manufacturer. And then there was a pink one, so that worked out really good. And then just other little circular elements to kind of keep that feel of the Ferris wheel. So there's a little circle that has XO, there's a circle that says cutie, that kind of stuff. And I have a couple hearts in there from my stickers, and also just one random heart that was in the ephemera, or in the iris container. So once I got all of those ephemera bits put down, then I went into the sticker sheets that I have in the kit, and I didn't pull too many stickers out, just a bunch of gold hearts and some little phrases from the Tim Holtz sticker sheets I have, but no, I didn't go too crazy with those stickers because there was already enough in the layers, and I kind of liked the way it was. I didn't want to start adding tons more and covering up everything that I had down there. And then my last little touch, my kind of tribute to Stranger Things, is I had those Stranger Things stickers. So I think these sheets I got at Walmart. So there were the light bulbs, which is from season 1, and then there was just a sheet of kind of holographic flat stickers, and those were from season 3, and I really wanted to get the Steve on there. So down at the bottom, I put that extra die cut down at the bottom where I could just put that little Steve sticker, and then I strung some of the light stickers across for my title. And I know they don't really match the colors of the rest of the layout, but I'm okay with that. They kind of have the basic colors. They're very bright and bold, but there's some blue and some yellow, and it's pink in the background even though it's red lights, and there's kind of some orange, so I'm just going to go with it because I think it looks really good, and it's very Stranger Things, obviously, and so the title is I Love Steve, and that's it. That is my layout. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please check out the other ladies with their links down below so you can see how they were inspired this month, and until next time, happy scrapping. Stay safe. Bye.